Schindler has a chance to write his name in Huddersfield Town legend. And he takes that chance!
Hello and welcome to a pint-sized preview sponsored by Magic Rock Brewing on Huddersfield Town's opponents this season. And in this episode, we're going to be focusing on Blackpool. A new collaboration this season has seen us check in with Up the Mighty Pool podcast, who had this to say about their coming season.
I'm Tom from UTMP, Up the Mighty Pool, Blackpool fan. So in terms of who we are, we do a regular blog, podcast, here and there with former players and fans such like. You can follow us on UTMP_ on Twitter and also upthemightypool.co.uk. So in terms of Blackpool's hopes for this season, well, it's not gone too well this summer so far in terms of Neil Critchley leaving, which took us all by surprise, and then being replaced by Michael Appleton. I think the dust has settled a little bit on that, so we're feeling a little bit more confident. Second season syndrome is the fear, so we're just hoping to sort of stay above water, similar sort of season to what we had last year really. Anywhere between, 14th to 20th would be absolutely fine for us. Looking to adapt our style of play a little bit, be a little bit more adventurous in terms of keeping a little bit more possession, being, Neil Critchley used to set up with a plan of how to thwart the opposition, whereas now we're looking to be a little bit more advanced and play to our strengths as well. I think that covers sort of what could go well and what could go wrong really, but the fear is the worst case scenario that Appleton gets sacked by Christmas or walks out on us after 6 weeks like he did in 2012. But yeah, early signs are more positive now that the dust has settled on the Critchley departure. I think we have got the right manager in terms of what we need to achieve this season and sort of see us through the next 2 or 3 seasons hopefully and stay at this level. Transfer business wise, we've not done a great deal so far. We've had one signing from Man City on loan, which is Luis Fiorini. He looks like a good ball playing midfielder, a bit more of an advanced midfielder than what we've got currently in the squad. And we've also signed Reece Williams from Liverpool on loan, who had a bit of a dodgy spell with Swansea last year, but hopefully he'll be, cover or potentially work his way into the side. In terms of key player, I'd have to go with Sonny Carey from, we signed him from Kings Lynn last summer and he got injured in December after looking quite good, but the formation this season is looking a lot more suited to his style of play, so he should be one to watch out for. And the final question was where we'll finish, so I'm going to go with 18th place.
Okay, cool. So I'll throw to you gents in a minute, but I did a little bit of digging into Blackpool. Again, I think we'll caveat with everyone, the transfer window is still going on and we know what it's like, teams get started and, if it's not going well, they'll add more or, that's always the plan. So big caveat there. But I think for me, we talk a lot about second season syndrome in the Premier League. And I wonder if this might be the case with Blackpool this season. They finished 16th last season. They've got some good players. I really like Josh Bowler. I think Keshi Anderson, who Huddersfield have been linked with, is a good signing. Shane Lavery, but Neil Critchley's left to be Stephen Gerrard's assistant. And I feel in a similar way to Town, when you have a really good coach and maybe not the resources to compete with the bigger teams, I feel like that adds for a lot and counts for a lot in this division. So I think losing Critchley is a big loss. But they brought in Michael Appleton. I'm not fully convinced by him. He's had a bit of a patchy record. He did really well at Lincoln, but then not so well last season in League One. I just think the combination, of players in the league, and the new coach, who I'm not too convinced by, I think they'll kind of be lower mid-table, maybe looking over the shoulder. They brought in Reece Williams, defender who we saw at Swansea on loan from Liverpool. They brought in Luis Fiore from Man City, again like a youngster who's promised, but I don't think they're going to make a huge addition or change my mind about kind of lower mid-table and watching over the shoulders. But Dave, do you disagree with me?
Only in that I think they're probably going to be bottom 4. And they'll have their fingers crossed that they can finish top of that mini league. But I I think there's a little bit of a lack of quality there, and I just, as you said, I think Blackpool are a club for a couple of seasons who are going to do a bit of a Rotherham potentially and bounce between League One and the Championship, and I just think this season is probably that year where they get caught up in it, and it's a little bit too difficult for them to get out of, for my money.
I mean, Tom, they have got Richard Keogh at the back. I'm sure you saw his amazing acting skills in that kit launch video. Is that going to help him at all? Or do you think, do you agree with us?
Maybe if he gets those googly eyes out and scares a few attackers away, he might be all right. But I don't know, Brady. I think it will be a difficult season for them. I do like Michael Appleton, though. I think he needs every manager needs the players, but I don't think he can galvanize a bit of a hodgepodge team together and get them going. So I think he needs his own players to do anything, and I don't think they've brought in enough to get him excited. So yeah, I think they'll be down there this season. Maybe stay up just.
Matt, people like to be beside the seaside. Will a lot of away teams get joy this season if we're predicting them in the bottom four, or do you think they might surprise us?
No, I think I'm with what Dave said. Nobody said second season syndrome yet, have they? Which it does exist, as we know full well, Premier League. I predicted them bottom three last season, so I'm very aware that Blackpool made me look silly last year. So don't quite want to do that again, but I do agree that a lot of it was, Neil Critchley was the catalyst really for a lot of what went on there. And Michael Appleton, I think the last few times he seems to have started off pretty well and then tapered off, hasn't he? So we'll see how that goes with Michael Appleton. Josh Bowler's class though, really good player. If they keep hold of him, then they've always got a chance. Keshi Anderson's decent. They've got a number of attackers, Lavery, Jerry Yates, etc. They can rotate them quite nicely. But I do think that things might catch up with them a bit, and I do think they'll be there or thereabouts in the bottom 5 or 6. Yeah.
Great, and that's our preview on Blackpool. So keep your eye out for the new prediction game we're going to have at the start of the season. And thanks for listening.